For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
It's a time for us to make a few demands of this administration, in particular, the Prime Minister and National Security Minister. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on Facebook and the NewsSpin Facebook, YouTube, as well as a NewsSpin Facebook page. Remember to subscribe. I'm asking the question whether it's time for us to issue an ultimatum to the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister with responsibility for national security. And what should that ultimatum be all about? The crime problem. The serious crime problem that continue to plague this country almost on a daily basis. And it's happening in a predictable manner every other day and almost inevitably on a weekend. And so last evening, the island recorded another homicide in the island's south. As usual, a young male. And I'm also informed that a female also sustained injuries as a result of that shooting incident, putting again the emergency personnel under immense pressure. So my information is, barrage of gunfire shattered the silence in the V4 community Sunday evening, leaving one woman nursing gunshot injuries and one man dead. At approximately 9:30 p.m., the V4 police station received a distressing report of a shooting incident at West Hall Group over in V4. Upon arrival at the scene, law enforcement discovered a male victim lying motionless along a concrete path, having suffered multiple wounds to the torso, which proved fatal for the male victim. In addition, a woman in her 50s was found to have sustained injuries to her legs during the incident. Where are the pressure groups? Where are the concerned citizens in this country to apply pressure on the relevant authorities? That would include Home Affairs Minister Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, Prime Minister, who is also National Security Minister, Philip J. Pierre, and our top cop, Drisita Descat Peleus. Is it a case where those individuals are incompetent or they're refusing to carry out their duties? It's either one of the two. Because we cannot continue to wallow in excuses. We cannot continue to lay blame at the feet of social disorder and social breakdown and single parent units, and the system has broken and marginalized youths, etc. And in the interim, what is happening is this country continues to be in ruin. And you have people posturing, a lot of grandstanding, people with all kind of fancy titles, and they're deemed to be prominent, important individuals. Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Home Affairs Minister. What do those people have to show for the title that they have received and the positions that they hold in this country? Police Commissioner, big ceremony, first female police commissioner. What does she have to show for that appointment? Have we reached a stage where we can honestly say to ourselves that we're not getting there, but we are a failed state? Because how can we continue to boast about our achievements, 2 Nobel laureates, continue to boast about our independence as a country, 45th independence anniversary, and what do we have to show for that independence that we boast about? Are we shackled to the extent that we cannot take care of our business? Should Britain take that right away from us and decide that they will look after us, both in terms of our defense internally and externally? Because we are making a hash of the whole issue. It is like a slapdash situation. Hurriedly and carelessly, we claim to be managing the affairs of St. Lucia. We might as well, don't have a national security minister. Let us decide not to have a home affairs minister. Why have a prime minister when we continue to be a chaotic country? Why are the criminals having their way at the expense of law-abiding citizens? We have to talk tough on this broadcast, because no one will do it. It is not their business. Somehow, it is satisfactory what is happening in this country right now. It is as well to the benefit of certain players to keep quiet and for them to ensure that the status quo is maintained. Nothing ought to change. But in the meantime, what is changing? The rate of crime in our country, particularly serious crimes. And it has reached a stage whereby we ought to be very much concerned for our future, not only in terms of our stability, but definitely in terms of our economic survival. The United States has issued travel warning for Bahamas over spike in murders. Keep a low profile. So says the Americans. What do you think the Americans will say to their visitors, to their nationals visiting St. Lucia anytime soon? Within the next few minutes, within the next few hours, within the next few days and weeks, those are possibilities. But what is shocking is that most of us in this country are behaving as if things are great. Things are normal. Why should you give an ultimatum to the Prime Minister? I mean, an ultimatum to our police commissioner, an ultimatum to the Home Affairs Minister, because we are in deep trouble in St. Lucia. And stop looking to the churches, and stop looking to the pastors, stop looking to grandmothers, and you're looking to various institutions, and you, as the Prime Minister of the country, you're not leading the charge. And any Prime Minister, any leader, your responsibility every second is to try to determine what are the threats that are being posed to your people and to your nation, and to see how you can tackle those threats. As it stands now, the Prime Minister, the government has been useless when it comes to the island's serious crime problem. As a matter of fact, we have to ask ourselves certain questions, and people are asking the question: if the guns, some of the guns are entering St. Lucia legitimately through our ports, airports, seaports, etc., how do we detect those weapons? How do we ensure it does not get into the hands of criminal elements, miscreants who want to have it so that they can be emboldened going forward for them to engage in various vices that could prove fatal as far as the taking of lives in this country? We hear that the police cannot be everywhere. That is true. We call on citizens to provide information to the police that could result in the arrest of individuals who have guns, illegal guns and ammunition in their possession, who commit certain crimes, etc. A9 unit. And as soon as he got into office, the Prime Minister decided to disband this unit. The flimsy excuse was, we can't afford $40,000 a month. But we can afford to have 7 and 8 homicides a month. And people have every reason to be very suspicious about the authorities' decision to disband this K9 unit. First, the Prime Minister said it was too costly. Then he said we'd have discussions with the Attorney General. Now we are hearing discussions are pending with the Police Commissioner, and a determination will be made. What is the word on the street? According to the gospel of Appa, what is the word on the street?
The talk is in St. Lucia. The K9 was removed in the workforce for the police and custom because big money in society that bring their drugs, their container of drugs, their cocaine, their guns and different things. You know? Yeah, we know is the big man not doing it in St. Lucia. It's not the small man doing it. They're using the small man to do it, the big man and them, you understand? So, the word on the streets are saying, well, the K9 unit was taken out of employment by the now government because the K9 was busting too much drugs. The K9 was busting too much illegal activities at the wharf and the airport. And the K9 used to come at man home and dig up man goods, dig up man guns, dig up man money. So, the middleman and them, you understand, in the government system consider, well, boy, the K9 unit not good. So $40,000 a month to feed that dog that go our business, we cannot support that. You understand? We cannot feed the hands that bite us. Get $10,000 in your $14,000 a month, making you all look high, we give you all training, understanding everything. As a pack of coupon, petty goods, no. Say she a pa moon gaza, say she a loyal rasta.
The inimitable Appa. Remember I reported to you last week that finances that would have been gotten through illegal means and various other possessions would have been seized by the authorities, and those finances would be used to ensure that units like the K9 unit operate without us having to dig into the coffers of the Treasury. Finance from monies in the proceeds of crime account, among other agencies, purchasing of vehicles and equipment for the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. So it was the criminals who were directly financing the K9 unit. My information also is that within a few months, the K9 unit had intercepted property which exceeded the projected cost of its engagement. Now, when you have such a mechanism that has been employed, that is being functioning, so if the state were to seize certain assets, seize cash, and the people who have those cash in their possession cannot account for that money, what will be done with those funds right now? What is being done with those funds? What is being done with those properties? Why can't the funds be utilized to finance the K9 unit? Mr. Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Home Affairs Minister, what is the real story? Talking about ultimatum, should we, ask the Prime Minister if he can't do something realistic, something effective about the crime problem, the guns, especially proliferation of illegal firearms and ammunition. Shouldn't he look elsewhere in terms of having a new national security minister? Why not have a cabinet reshuffle, Mr. Prime Minister? Because there's certain things that are not working, and why continue to operate using the same methods? If you were not the national security minister, I could well imagine that you would have decided to reshuffle that individual. Send him to some other ministry. Give him responsibility for some other ministry. But why can't you do the same to yourself? There are instances when you have to fire yourself, You have to be honest with yourself and say, I'm not cut out for this. I am not. But somehow it appears there's some individuals in this country who can lie to themselves, who can delude themselves into believing that they have what it takes. So in this case, the Prime Minister is saying he has what it takes to be the National Security Minister, So let him continue to employ himself in that as the individual is responsible for national security and continue to serve in that role. Based on what has transpired, based on what is on the horizon, definitely the situation will not be properly handled by the Prime Minister. The spotlight is also on the police commissioner, and she's talking tough. She issued a press statement over the weekend. We'll hear the statement in its entirety later, but for now, let's listen to the tough-talking police commissioner and wonder whether criminals are shaking in their boots.
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force will continue to make persons who engage in this outright criminality uncomfortable. We will continue, within the parameters of the law, our efforts to find you and make it impossible for you to have a sense of peace.
Police Commissioner Josita Descat-Pellius, her full statement later in the broadcast. As we open the lines right now at 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, that's 716-2026. And, of course, your comments in the chat room. Kimani going through some of those comments right now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, good question, as this is what police departments generally do. Another comment in the chat room, those people are meant for opposition. Tim, the PM needs to reshuffle more than one minister. Tim, when I saw the video of the shooting in Vieux-Fort, I thought it was a Charles Bronson movie I was watching. Another comment, the former administration put a plan together and was willing to sit with the current administration to deal with the crime problem. The Prime Minister wasn't interested, so working together is off the table. Tim, just now this government will cut ribbons for the crimes that is going on in St. Lucia. Let's just say UWP is in office now, all these people would be up in arms crying, calling out the UWP administration, including our clueless PM. The concerns groups are only concerned when UWP is in power. Someone says, Timothy, all we are hearing is police are investigating. And finally, I'm not a police officer. My father was BS.
Thank you so much, Kimani. 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. That's 716-2026. Let me see if I have any of your messages to go through while we are awaiting your calls.
Is this supposed to be the face of law enforcement that criminals out there should be trembling in fear? Words from a top cop without the proper judicial system to back it up. Tim, they need to take the national security titles from PJP and Ms. Poyet and give it to the K9 dogs because they are doing a much better job than the PJP and Poyet in that department.
I mean, the one thing that is working, the K9 unit, the dogs, our best friends, you disband it, and you've decided to do that. You are realizing that there is need for such a unit because a void has been created. You now have to borrow K9 units or units from other jurisdictions. Martinique, the United States, I think the UK as well, I don't know, but overseas. And you do not, it is not within your wisdom. You don't have the wisdom to realize there's need to reintroduce this mechanism, this tool to fight the serious crime problem. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin on the air.
Yeah, Mr. Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
The people want to know what's the story about the sugar in the west coast of the island. What's about the sugar? Give us the story. I want to know. Okay, sir?
Okay, caller.
Thank you.
All right. We have a call via WhatsApp. Let's take that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
I had a couple of points. Thank you very much. A couple of points I wanted to raise with regard to the chief of police or the commissioner of police's comments about the crime situation and the potential response to the crime situation. If the address that we received from the police commissioner was supposed to imbue any sense of confidence or to suggest to us that there was a plan that we could repose our confidence in, that we could lean on for some kind of solace. It was a dismal failure. The speech seemed more like a speech and less like something that was planned or very carefully thought through, or the result of intricate discussions by multiple parties and with a concrete plan that we were going to roll out on. I feel as helpless and as hopeless as I did the day before, the month before, the year before, and the years before, because this is not an issue that has arisen just with this current government, but it existed before with the previous or with previous governments. What I would have liked and think would have been a more professional, a more inspiring, confidence-inspiring presentation would be to first hear from the chief of police, the commissioner, the chief crime, one of the chief crime fighters, the other being the prime minister or minister of national security or home affairs as well. I would have loved to hear the statistics or the facts that show a basic grasp or basic evaluation or measurement of the extent of the crime problem and its contributing factors. I would have loved to hear what the actual crime and murder statistics are and what that has looked like over the past few years. What are some of the attending issues? Poverty. What are the poverty stats looking like? Unemployment. What do those different stats look like? And how the commissioner and the prime minister connects those to the crime situation. I would have also liked to have heard a recognition of the main resources and that authorities and high-level individuals are putting in as that first line of defense. There's an animal called the kwaku. The kwaku is as big as a house cat, but the kwaku is well known for a very interesting defense when it is faced with a predator. When faced with a predator, the kwaku will throw its young at the predator as it makes an escape for itself. And it felt like that has been the continued modus operandi. So we tell grandmothers, we tell mothers, we tell priests, we tell everybody to go out there and fight crime without the actual powers that have been disposed in certain people to do that job, getting up and go do that job. I would have expected for the commissioner, to provide a real and genuine emotional connection to the victims and possible victims. It just seemed way too clinical, way too devoid of emotion and human connection. And finally, I was expecting from the commissioner very specific science-based policies and plans for addressing crime, multiple angles. Not the same old of police stops here and there. We know those don't work. Changing modus operandi here and there, more police vehicles, asking people to take care of their children, asking people to call the police. Those have not worked. By themselves, they will not work. Crime has to start working in the police force. Crime has to start working with the individuals who actually have the power to legislate and to change situations, them stepping off of their high pedestals and actually doing the work. Crime fighting has to start there before we can ask Joe Blow on the street to call and confide in us that they have seen or witnessed the crime. To put it bluntly, I would give the police commissioner a D. A D because at least there was some effort, but a D because the effort did not go to the extent that we would expect from somebody at her level. And that's, of course, also a reflection of the current Minister of National Security. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling. So, maybe the D is because her name is Drusita. But listen, we also not into the business of just putting somebody into a position just because they are female, just because they're a woman, or just because they are a male, or just because they are a youth. It is all about if you have the capacity, if you have the experience, if you have the training. Because being police commissioner is not like being a politician where, anybody, just because you're popular, you contest a seat, you win a general election, and then your colleagues decide that in their wisdom, you should be the prime minister of the country. I mean, that could happen. Anybody being the police commissioner, helming the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. That's not what it is. But I think we've reached a juncture when you have to ask questions whether those people are holding key positions in our country, whether they are sufficiently capable in terms of carrying out the mandate of that responsibility that they have been given. Let's make a serious examination. We don't have the figures, but what it is costing us on a monthly basis to secure our country, including our borders, including ensuring that law and order is maintained in St. Lucia. Let's just imagine millions of dollars to have police officers, to have customs officials, customs personnel, to have a cabinet of ministers, a prime minister, national security, etc. What do we have to show for it? And questions are not being asked of those people who are holding those positions by key personnel in St. Lucia, by influential people in this country, by institutions like the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, no doubt, who are severely and seriously impacted by the fear of crime and citizen safety, because, you no longer can sacrifice security in your business place. You have to almost have 24-hour security because of the level of crime in our country. This comes at a significant cost to business establishments. So what are they asking questions of our government ministers, our government officials who have the responsibility to ensure that law and order is maintained in our country? What are the questions being asked of our lone and main law enforcement agency, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? Are we going to continue to allow things to go as they have been allowed to continue over several years now with the same negative result? 8 homicides in 1 month. 8 homicides in 1 month, and we are the 29th. 2 more days left. What could happen within those 2 days? A lot definitely can happen. Still to come on the broadcast, a reminder to the Prime Minister, you've gotten rid of the K9 unit, they should be reinstated. But somebody is telling you to get rid of the 2.5% health and security levy. As you continue to watch NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as YouTube, and listen to the most monitored talk show on Power 97.9 FM.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. or send an email to customersupport@lucelec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucelec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. Lucelec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Celebrate Independence the KFC way from January 17th to February 29th. Grab the Independence box at KFC. Celebrate 45 years of independence as you indulge in 1 sandwich, 5 dipping wings, 2 pieces of chicken, 2 regular fries, and 2 regular drinks, all for only $45. Unbox and savor the taste of freedom with an Independence big box at KFC.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more, so the tingo is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, cast app, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, say the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
On ordinary citizens, grandmothers and aunts and nenes, etc. The police officers in St. Lucia, don't you know who the criminal elements are? Don't you know who the individuals who have illegal firearms and ammunition are? The cabinet of ministers, you are from St. Lucia. I don't think you're so far removed from everyday life in this country that you don't understand what the people of this country are going through. As far as the fear of crime, citizen safety is a big issue. We no longer can stigmatize any community and say, well, in this particular community, well, crime is rife, and there's a greater possibility and probability of somebody being shot in this community than others. Carpet State, Bonterre, in the south, the east coast, the west, you name it. Crime is rife in this country. And before you check yourself, some kind of advisory will be issued against St. Lucia if the trend continues. And where are you going to blame? If you're the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Home Affairs Minister, Tourism Minister, will you blame the criminals? Because I'm not really directly 100% blaming the criminals, you know. Because the criminals will do what they are being allowed to do because of the serious dereliction of duty, because of ineptitude, unprofessionalism on the part of the authorities. What do you think somebody who has a predilection to engage in violence, what do you think that person will do if they're allowed to continue in that vein unfettered? That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to arm themselves with an illegal firearm, have their legal ammunition, etc., and go out there and cause mayhem in the country because the environment that they're in right now provides them with the opportunity and the incentive to break the law at will. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, caller. Good afternoon to you.
How are you, Tim? How was your weekend, my brother?
Very good. How about you?
Well, I didn't hang in there with a little flu and to put me down, but I'm working on that.
You have to fight it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim, this is what I don't understand in this country. Tim, you mean so much of COVID in the country that right now people dying in spot and we're hearing the authority coming and saying nothing?
Caller, I have no such information. I leave that to the Ministry of Health. I leave that to the CMO. I cannot just act on a WhatsApp message that has gone viral. We have to be as responsible as possible, sir. So I have no information about we have several cases of COVID in this country and people are dying as a result of COVID. Okay, caller?
Well, I leave that there.
Yeah, leave it to the CMO. Let's hear from the CMO. Mm-hmm.
But next thing again, Tim, what about the road? The government still taking their steps.
Hold on. You still talking about the road?
My God, I got to talk about it because I used to go so far, Tim, I can't go now because the road is terrible. Terrible, terrible, Tim. I never see the road of St. Lucia in this situation before. For all my life, I've been living to this country.
Just accept that, eh? The 2024 is the year what? The year for infrastructure? Let's see. and we are not in 2024 yet. So we're still in 2023. Yeah.
Wait, listen, how many more days it missing?
So we're not in 2023?
But right now we're in 2024 because January almost done, Tim, about 2 days.
So what do you think the Ministry of Infrastructure is doing right now? They're planning because they told us 2024 is the year for infrastructure. Right? How long they told us that? Several months ago. So we're now in 2024. Do you get a sense that there's some urgency on the part of the government now that we're in 2024 to address that problem?
Team knowing Labour Party. Labour Party is not...
For me, it's not about Labour Party and European. It's about government.
Yeah, the government. No, the government. This government that they're not there for development. You know, this government that they, my brother, it's just all about pockets. It's just all about everybody want to fill the pocket and keep on lying to us, keep on making promises. They're going to build 4-lane highway. They're going to build hotel. They're going to finish the hospital. And I know that could never happen because 1979, this government, that they win an election and they still mash up the country. That's why they were calling it Plywood City. So I expecting nothing good from them. Understand? Nothing good.
Okay, caller.
Yeah, anyway, take care, my brother. And enjoy the rest of the day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. Kimani, you have a press release. You want to share with us the contents from the Ministry of Health?
Yes, the Ministry of Health on COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs continues to note an increase in the number of persons presenting with flu-like illnesses at the emergency departments, wellness centers, and private doctors' offices. This is due to new COVID-19 variants, influenza A and B, and a respiratory virus. Over the last 14 days, an increase in hospitalizations and deaths due to COVID-19 were also noted.
Oh, so read that again.
over the last 14 days. An increase in hospitalizations and deaths due to COVID-19 were also noted.
Okay, so the caller actually is correct on this. Yeah.
During the period January 15th to 25th, 2024, 3 COVID-19 deaths were recorded. The elderly persons with chronic health conditions and the unvaccinated are most affected at this time. That's about it for the release. There's more, but it's just information on how to stay safe from COVID-19.
Thank you so much for that update, and we'll be going through that Ministry of Health press release a little bit later, in case you're just joining us right now. Increased cases of COVID-19, and over the last week or so, we've had at least 3 related deaths. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a call. Good afternoon, you are on the air. Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Caller, is this happening from our end or is your phone? Something is wrong. We're not hearing you too clearly. No, sir. Try again. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you'll have to call back. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Okay. All right, let's see if we have some of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Do we have some information, Kimani?
In the chat
yes,
room?
Go ahead.
Someone says, did I hear this caller right? He wants the police commissioner to have an emotional connection to the victims and their family. This is a no-no. Plus, all over the world, crime is solved with the support of the citizenry because the police can't be everywhere. And to say buying vehicles for the police doesn't work is ridiculous because all this was one of the excuses of the police not having enough vehicles to come to crime scenes. Lastly, what does he think the Prime Minister created the youth economy for and other economic initiatives? Because the government is well aware they have to fight crime also from a socio-economic stance, and they are doing just that. So it's a matter of time to see the results.
Okay, but I think this was making an excuse for the government, but the government has lost its way as far as managing the crime problem. Yes, there are some issues that you have to do in addition to fighting crime. The youth economy, tackling unemployment in the country, looking at social problems, etc. But in the meantime, what are you doing to make the people feel safe? There are some immediate actions and measures that you have to take, that you have to implement as far as fighting crime is concerned. We cannot wait for those long-term gains. We cannot wait for the end of 2024, and we cannot wait for 2025 and 2026 before we bring this under some level of control. Because otherwise, what will happen is we'll continue to have record homicides. The Americans will not wait for us to put our house in order. Our tourism industry will collapse, and the problem will only exacerbate because, again, foreign direct investment will be an issue. People don't want to come and set up shop in St. Lucia. Imagine you are in Castries and you have a few bucks and you realize an opportunity to open some business establishment over in V4. You will think twice, and it's very unfortunate. But who allowed the situation to deteriorate? Talking about what? The old people, the mister down the road, young people, etc., or the authorities right under your nose. This happened. This kind of breakdown in law and order occurred. We have the police in the community. We have a parliamentary rep in that constituency as well. You tell me that he's not aware of the problem in his constituency? We have 17 MPs. They are not aware of the level of crime occurring in the respective constituencies. You tell me the Prime Minister is not aware of what's happening in Castries East, or the MP for Castries South is not aware of the situation there, and Castries North, and VA4 North and South, and Labrie, and Anse-Lorraine, and Miku North and South, and Choiseul, and Soufrière. But they know when it is time to go on the campaign trail to ensure that they win the seat, they are very methodical, they are very scientific. They have, various people on the ground who are representing them, the interest. And before something happens, they would call the MP. MP, so-and-so happened, MP, this guy, you give a contract. He has nothing good to say about you, watch your back. We've met. So, There's a lot that we can do from the perspective of the ordinary man in the street, man and woman, and there's a lot that our governments can do to bring this crime problem under some level of control. Let us not make excuses for our governments, because come the next general election, you will hear about the youth economy. But that same year, if we do not bring this under some level of control, what you will hear? 80 homicides. We can go above 100 homicides during a given year. And that is scary.
Another comment in the chat room, someone says, as we speak, it seems like Milton Daisy was so much of a better top cop than we have today. But Tim, during Newsmaker Live last week, I think Richard Peter King mentioned that crime doesn't really have an effect on the tourism industry. So do you think it may have an effect?
He made that point that he was comparing the situation with Jamaica. I cannot talk for Jamaica. I don't know what's happening there on the ground. But I think we are very vulnerable. The number of visitors Jamaica has been attracting over several years now is not compared to that of St. Lucia. The number of hotel rooms, they have many more hotel rooms than we have in St. Lucia. The marketing funds, they have a lot more at their disposal to market the country. They have Bob Marley, they have Usain Bolt, and we don't, So we are in a precarious situation, and I don't want to make the comparison between St. Lucia and Jamaica and St. Lucia and Trinidad and Tobago and St. Lucia and Guyana. The situations are different, peculiar in terms of the various jurisdictions, but there's a lot that we can do on the ground. We don't seem to be too concerned about the crime problem. We don't seem to be too determined. And those people who are in government, those people who are in authority, particularly elected officials, they're more interested in playing the politics in terms of ensuring that they maintain the seat of power, irrespective of them failing the people of this country. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
What I was there with you, something came to mind. I would like to share it. We have about 70 or 80 homicides last year and about 8 this year so far.
Yeah, last year we had about 75.
Okay. And to my knowledge, mostly all these people that die are young people who are young people.
Most of them, yeah.
Right. My appointment as the police commissioner now will be a young man.
Why?
He's young. I believe that the young people are going to rally around him. So I am appointing Kazimi as the police commissioner or minister of national security. He's a young guy. I don't believe he has too much skeleton in his closet. I believe much people cannot point finger at him that he is corrupt, he is this, he is that. I believe if Kazim is appointed as the Minister of National Security, the young people in the country will rally together with him. They will bring out the information that is hidden in so many homes. I don't believe the national security minister should be somebody that has skeleton all in the closet. That is why they're not trusting the police.
Hold on, I know of nobody who is national security minister who have any skeleton in the closet. Then we have to be extremely careful.
I just put in that perspective. I don't know none neither. But I would like to say a young man who have the ability to bring people together.
In other words, let's try something different.
Yes, let's try something different.
Yeah.
But I believe Kazimi can be a good minister of national security to bring the young people together, because these are where the crimes are being committed. He will sit with them and discuss with them and talk to them. They'll bring the information to him. They'll share it with the police. They'll do that. They'll do that. I believe we have to try that instead of some other person. I believe we should hate homicide in small St. Lucia. Hey, people are afraid to leave their house now because you can never know what will happen. It is time for somebody and discuss that.
Okay.
What is the Prime Minister is doing?
Thank you so much for calling. So we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. I think we lost the call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have another call? We do.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I don't want to wish you Happy New Year, but the only thing I could tell you, Happy Bad New Year. The reason I say Happy Bad New Year, it saddens me to start a year. I don't even want to say the new year. To start a year with 8 murders, Tim, it saddens me. St. Lucia is in big problem. And these people on island, red, yellow, pink, blue, black, the Labour Party government is not doing a good job, Tim. Tim, even on our roads, look at just what happened there last night. That person just lost their life on this road. Tim, we living in black.
We don't know why, eh? We don't know the circumstances surrounding this road fatality. Okay?
There's a government in power. Listen to me carefully. That's my first time calling for the year because I'm a very concerned citizen. Tim, to see that the gas price is at $16.50, all the time the price of crude oil is going on the world market. Tim, think of it. You've been affected. Okay? Your friend there, what's her name again? Kibani been affected with her family. All families in St. Lucia been affected. And you're telling me, Tim, you only taking out a few dollars on the 20-pound cylinder. Tim, who are the majority using the 100-pound cylinders? The majority are the well-off people. Even the ministers have these 100-pound cylinders, Tim. Tim, we spending so much money in this country to make the Labour Party look well in terms of 2.5%, Tim. Tim, this thing is wrong, Tim. The month just ended, Tim. Bills every day, and you should be playing that song by Arrow. Tim, it's not good in St. Lucia, Tim. The roads are bad, Tim. Tim, I just ordered some parts for my car. And to clear the mount for my vehicle, the customs authority charged me $650, Tim. Tim, my insurance is ending very soon. You go there in and out. Kimani goes there in and out. And she could tell you every time I go there, the price is rising. We have a prime minister that's saying putting people first, and he does not see it fitting to try to negotiate to see, well, if we paying a soft drink for $3, we could pay it for $2.50, Tim. Try to give us a soulagement. There's no soulagement across the board. I see you had Mr. Peter King, an economist by profession, trying to polish. These guys don't care about the lower class people in this country, Tim. 80% makes the government, which is the Malawi, Tim. Right now, even the middle class now feeling it. Even the bourgeois that have all the money feeling it too, Tim. So this is a government that does not care about the needs of people in this country. Tim, why the government is not coming out and tell us about the COVID right now? They're giving it all kind of name, H1, D1, 3-1. Tim, the hospital right now, the nurses are complaining, Tim. If you have complication and this thing hit you, you're going to die. And I know there's casualties already, and this thing is not coming out to the public domain. Nobody is coming and tell us what is happening, why we should take care of ourselves.
Well, the CMO just issued a statement, so that's not fair what you're saying. The CMO just issued a statement.
It just came out, but this thing's been going on for weeks, Tim. It's because she see it's fitting, and they do not have a choice. They came out lately and put this thing out. And Tim, the problem I have there, Tim, you need to investigate that because you alone is the one investigating and giving us the truth or uplightening us and letting us know what is happening. Tim, you see that road network, them potholing, they're fixing, and then it in a day. If you fix it now and the rain falls, that is problem. And you know that. You drive the car too.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the road just like me and everybody in St. Lucia. Forget about who labor, who flabo, all of them using the roads. You patch it now, the rain falls, tomorrow there's the same hole. Tim, I would like to know, from the time Labour in power and they start doing the potholing, how much it costing us, not the ministers, how much it costing us, we the people are paying tax. How much it costing, Tim? I would like to know the figures. In my opinion, Tim, I would want to tell you, you plug a hole today and tomorrow you pass there and it's problems again. Tim, between me and you, if you have a car and you love your car, if rain is falling, nighttime, do not drive because you don't know where these holes are. When you believe you drive in and you're enjoying the ride, you know what it's costing you? Thousands of dollars.
I'm on the leg.
And you know who benefiting? The store's benefiting. Tim, in my opinion, I believe right now, with the money that you're paying for your sticker, we shouldn't be paying that to put a sticker to use the road. The reason for that, Tim, I want everybody to understand. Why you need an insurance, Tim? A question I'm asking. Why you need an insurance to drive on the road? Just answer me that.
I mean, basically, if you get yourself in an accident, for you to be able to compensate the individual who has found himself in an accident with you, to fix the vehicle and things of that nature.
Do you agree with that?
You also need the sticker as well.
No. Do you have insurance?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with it, yes.
Now, I support in the insurance 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know where I disagree with the sticker? When you pay the sticker, where that money is supposed to filter, Tim?
That goes into the coffers of the government directly, the Ministry of Infrastructure, and that's supposed to be for the maintenance of the roads because based on the size of your engine, the size of the vehicle, as you pay according to that.
Now, Tim, that is where NewsSpin comes into play. The most listened,
most monitored.
You know, that's the best talk show in the world, Tim. This is the only talk show that could enlighten people and educate people. That's why I like Rick Wayne, And that is the reason why I am supporting NewsSpin. If it wasn't for NewsSpin, a number of things the government went and do is for NewsSpin. Now, Tim, I am saying I disagree with our drivers by paying a sticker. The reason for that, Tim, our roads has not been fixed. Why our cars are mashing up? We're supposed to be suing the government. And it goes for all motorists using the road. In United States of America, Tim, whenever your car messed up, and you could take a photo and say, this is what that caused my car to be in the distress, the state have to pay you. Why isn't St. Lucia? You're taking money from thousands of motorists and the road has not been fixed. And foremost, Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister, you're still taking 150 from people at the pump. I believe the way I look at St. Lucia is not looking at it from that broad point of view because we're living in a communist country right now. But St. Lucians are so nice and naive, they don't care. But I care right now, Tim, because I spent 6 weeks below, according to Leclerc, I broke my rim, and it costing me. Now, if I file to sue the government, you think I will get compensation for that? We need to take to the streets for our roads to be fixed. We need to take to the streets for the price in fuel. We need to take to the streets for the inflation that affecting putting the people first, which is the Mali way, that cannot even afford a meal at the end of the day. It is sad. It is sad We living in darkness, Tim. I don't know what happened to us. We're not seeing the light and stuff like that. Tim, I have so much to say. Let me give somebody else another chance. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for giving me the opportunity to address that problem.
You're welcome, sir. Somebody sent me a WhatsApp video, and along with a WhatsApp message, it reads there, please share the attached with the public. This is the situation at Piat Grand Riviere for more than 20 years. Tim, we are literally begging for help from the MP, Kenson Casimir. He is aware of our situation. The road is literally a river with the slightest bit of rain. The road is a hazard for the elderly and the children. I will not even start on the damage to our vehicles. We are really hoping that during this year of infrastructure that we get some relief. Please, please. The refrain from so many people in this country regarding the deplorable state of our roads. You're watching and listening to NewsSpin. Right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page and YouTube.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From My Account to Streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, LuSelect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, cast app, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. Is more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
An exquisite 3-bedroom modern villa, panoramic ocean views, well-equipped modern appliances, a plunge pool. Bon Esprit Villa. For that quiet getaway in a lush green space. Your home away from home. Understated decadence, tranquility, and harmony. For special occasions and weekend getaways, the perfect escape. Bon Esprit Villa. Book now. Call 486-7965.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve test to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Let's go back to the 2.5 that you raised. You know, when that first came out and I looked at it and I tried to work on what information I had, I didn't really think it was that much at the end of the day. And so
I think you said that.
Yeah, my initial say, well, you know, it's not going to really have a major impact on it. And then, bit by bit, I started to hear from the chamber, from businesses, and I realized that A, it was an administrative headache, and B, it was compounding and making the cost of things a lot more. So, you know, at the end of the day, I realized, first of all, it's not going to raise $33 million either. So what was put in to get here is not getting there, and people are unhappy with it. It's just another piece of, another tax, another more piece of paperwork. So, you know, what I told the Prime Minister is, you know what, just dump it, get rid of it, phase it out in this budget, and this was my recommendation, that just increase the VAT to 15%. Now, I know that's not always popular, but I understand that we need money for health and security, and I think, and the chamber, by the way, said the same thing. They told the government right from the start, no, don't put this levy, just increase the VAT to 15%, because that means that, you know, it's a flow-through thing, and you're not going to get it compounded, it's not going to have the same impact on inflation, and you're going to get more money out. And now they wanted to tax imported services. So that's a new thing, that's part of the 2.5 levy. That's going to affect, like, tourism, for example. They would have to pay 2.5 on imported marketing. And so from that point of view, I think maybe this is a good time to get rid of it.
So you think the Prime Minister will act on your advice?
No, I'm a bad advisor.
Why are you saying you're a bad advisor?
No, I doubt. I mean, I'm just one person. I mean, he's got technocrats, he's got consultants, he's got, you know, advising him, and they may come, you know, decide differently. But they also get political advice, you know, and they may say, you know what, this is very unpopular, because it's a nuisance and it's you know, it's costly. Let's find a different way of doing it, and hopefully can do that. But here's the big thing: in doing so, a Prime Minister has to say, I was wrong, I made a mistake, I'm going to take it off. We don't do that in this part of the world. We never apologize. We just, you know, leave it in and try to justify it until it's too late. I think, you know, to me, a real mature population, government, etc., is one that says, I've heard, I've listened, I realize the alternatives, and I will change.
Just heard there from Chartered Accountant Mr. Richard Pitterkin. He was a guest on last Wednesday's Newsmaker Live. So let's wait to see if the Prime Minister will decide to do away with the 2.5% health and security levy, and instead, as is being advised by Mr. Pitterkin, to increase the VAT to 15%. Irrespective, I think it will be a bad move by the government if the Prime Minister decides to increase VAT to 15%, because people tell you they just can't afford any kind of increase in this country right now. What's happening in the chat room, Kimani?
In the chat room, someone says, all of you are our problems now. Another comment, that it took the best accountant in the country that long to see what everyone with common sense knew and saw was idiotic and hurtful to the poor is frightening and revealing as well. This is sad and angering because we all know what is going on here. Someone says in the chat room, we need to protest like the French. We accept too much here. This is the caller of the month. Claudius Francis always makes the point that a commissioner of police doesn't have to be a police officer, but a good manager. St. Lucia needs an experienced police commissioner. These young people being placed in these positions do not have the knowledge of leading. Another comment in the chat room, the St. Lucia Labour Party is responsible for most of the positive infrastructure in St. Lucia, plus secondary schools and new primary schools, police stations and fire stations. The Grozile Poleon Highway, the View Fort Laborie, Choiseul and Soufrière Highway, every hotel built in the last 20 years and lots more.
And they're also responsible for what? The crime problem in this country? No, they're not responsible for that. The poor state of our roads, they're not responsible for that. And Kimani, the caller, I think the last caller before we took the break, he made a point that whether people should consider not paying their vehicle licenses. And I think that's an issue we have to put before the people of this country, the NewsSpin audience, the infrastructure minister, transport minister, the prime minister. What is, and I'm not saying that you got to break the law. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's worth discussing. It is worth highlighting. What is the justification for paying your vehicle licenses and renewing your vehicle licenses? What is the justification when the roads are in a deplorable state? It's a nightmare. I think people will start to go to counseling, receive counseling, because you know that you cannot escape those potholes.
Mm-hmm.
They are all around the country, and you have to drive your vehicle. You have to go from point A to point B. You have to go to school. You have to go to work. You have to recreate. You can't just stay at home and so on. And you have to confront this on every occasion. This is a psychological nightmare for many people in this country. But the government has to justify members of the public paying the vehicle licenses. You're not maintaining the roads. What is the justification? That is the question. I'll not ask Kimani. On this occasion, I'll ask you for your input. Mm-hmm. You don't drive on the roads, etc. Okay? So you won't get me to ask you to respond.
I got a free pass today.
Yes. But what is the justification? That is the question we have to put to the authorities in this country.
Tim, why don't you lead the revolution?
I'm already leading it, You're just not paying attention. I'm already leading the revolution. In all honesty, I'm leading a revolution, but you are not paying attention, and that's very, very sad, Kimani. Let's take a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller. Hello.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
And Happy New Year to Kimani.
Thank you. Same to you.
I would like to begin to extend my condolences to the Walcott family. I heard Rick saying something last week, and Timothy, the truth sometimes, all the time, is good food for the soul. Because when you made that statement, I laughed. Because everything he said about Tom Walcott is true. Especially when he said, sometimes the things that Tom Walcott says, you never know if he's serious because he's always laughing. And I will support that 100%. Tom Walcott was a good politician and a gentleman. And I am one who is from the opposite side. And one of the greatest fun I had politically with somebody on the other side was with Tom Walker. I'm sorry that he's gone and I'm not home to pay my respects. But I would extend ask the question, did ask a very good question. Because the licenses we pay for vehicular license and all of that is for the purpose of using the road. And if people are paying license, the government, that money is supposed to be going towards maintenance of roads. And if the government is not maintaining the road, I think this is a good argument to have of not paying license for the road. Thank you. And that's all I have to say for today.
Okay,
have a good one.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. Once again, 716-2026. Let me see if I can go through a WhatsApp message. Tim, only on the correct prompting did your caller acknowledge that there needs to be a change of national security minister. Before that, he was on a mission of citing one specific person, Kenson Casimir. But is he prepared to put the most junior and inexperienced government minister to head and tackle the ministry with our most serious problems as if no other person exists? And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Somebody says there, Tim, that caller who nominated Casimir as National Security Minister unintentionally highlighted the biggest flaw in our system of government. We elect leaders based on popularity with little or no consideration for qualifications. This is not secondary school class president or NYC leadership. There are lives and livelihoods at stake here. We need to take these things more seriously. Do we have a call, Mr. Producer? Yes, we do. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Yeah, Tim, how you doing?
I'm okay. So,
Tim, I just dropped in for a short time. It's 2 o'clock already.
Mhm.
I don't know why we can't get through your station like that.
My apologies.
Your guest, Kimani. Tim, I just want to mention one short thing, and then I'll try and call during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I don't know if I heard it right. Okay, Mr. Peter King is a man I really respect. I look highly on to him. And especially what he said, I said that last week, that if we leaders would come out when we do a mistake and apologize and admit we do the mistake, this country would be much, much, much better as it is now. But because of pride, we sweep it under the carpet, and then it dies there like St. Lucians. Don't worry about it again. But one short thing I want to say again, Mr. Peter King, he make me laugh, not a laugh of joy, but of sorrows, if I heard you right. Did Mr. Peter King said the crime rate in St. Lucia will not affect the tourist industry?
No, he's saying that it doesn't appear that it affects
it doesn't
business
appear.
activity. Yeah.
Well, we better back up, because it will very soon, if it continue like that, affect the industry extremely bad. And you know how much we depend on tourism. Okay, so I want to just warn us to take it. I have a lot more to say, but it's 2 o'clock. I'll try tomorrow.
Okay.
I hope I get through early.
All right, thank you so much. Press release coming from the Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture wishes to alert farmers and the public about a recently identified disease affecting yams. This is known as yam rust and is caused by a fungal pathogen. The ministry recognizes the critical significance of yams as a staple tuber in our diet and its substantial contribution to farmers as a year-round cash crop supporting their livelihoods. Yam rust has been identified in various agricultural regions across the island. Rigorous laboratory testing has confirmed the existence of this disease. The affected yam varieties include white, yellow, and Portuguese yams. It is imperative for farmers to consistently monitor their crops for any signs of infection. Early detection is crucial, and prompt corrective action is necessary to curtail the further spread of the disease. The Ministry of Agriculture is actively collaborating with the farming community and the Agricultural Extension Division to implement effective control measures against yam rust. Farmers are strongly advised against moving planting materials from one location to another. Significantly contributes to the transmission of the disease between farms. Travelers likewise are encouraged to avoid the illegal importation of yams and other planting material without the prerequisite permission or guidance. In the upcoming weeks, the Ministry of Agriculture will continue working in tandem with the Agriculture Extension Unit to provide guidance and advice to farmers on essential prevention and control measures. Furthermore, the Research Department will initiate a survey starting Monday, the 29th of January 2024, to assess the prevalence and extent of this disease across the entire island. The survey will provide the opportunity to understand the disease cycle within our ecosystem in order to provide disease management guidance to farmers. Press release issued by the Ministry of Agriculture. Any final report, Kimani? as to what's happening in the chat room.
Someone says, Timothy, when last you see a police on duty in Castries? Maybe it's from the time the Prime Minister's father was a policeman. Another comment in the chat room. Hi, Rick. Guess someone has to let Timothy Tim Poleon, his listeners, viewers, know that many St. Lucian citizens and residents have successfully sued the government of St. Lucia. He and his callers only have to scan our OECS Supreme Court site for decided cases. Cheers.
Somebody says traffic backed up from cul-de-sac round about close to Udivic Studios. It's ridiculous. Why? It is because of that old project that's taking place there. I mean, people are tired of it. Might as well just say it. It's an old project that's causing us tremendous headache to many road users. And the Prime Minister says, yet again, we'll not tolerate this, we'll not tolerate the road will be completed this year. Let us see what will happen. We have our NewsSpin news of the day. NewsSpin news of the day. A news out of the UK. Labour prepares for first 100 days as the Tories slide into chaos. So the Labour Party in the UK, which is currently in opposition, according to all polls, they are likely to win the next German election, which is due within the next year or so. The Labour Party in the UK is already saying that they are preparing for the first 100 days as Tories slide into chaos. And a quote is being attributed to the party there. If we win, we have to be ready. If we win, we have to be ready. So when you're in opposition and you're fighting and you want to win the election, etc., ask yourself if you are ready for the challenges that lie ahead. And tell yourself that if we win, we have to be ready. That is what the Labour Party in the UK is saying to itself right now as they're getting all set for general election. And our NewsSpin question of the day, let me try to locate it. Taiwan is financing our independence celebrations. What say you? So imagine we're an independent country, February the 22nd, independence anniversary, and Taiwan is financing our independence celebrations. Another country is financing our independence celebrations. Can you know anything about that? Taiwan is financing our independence celebrations.
I guess it's nice, Tim.
Financing the fireworks, financing a few hand-waving flags, 250 such flags, and I think, 80 huge flags. But Taiwan has to finance that. Okay. That's the broadcast. We'd like to thank you so much for listening on Power 97.9 FM. Thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page and also on YouTube. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 with another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. That's NewsSpin. Goodbye.